My name is Cynthia Pereda. I am the grant director for the National AI Consortium. Um, Google, you want to go ahead? Rob?
Yeah, I can kick us off. Great to see everyone, and thank you for being here. Rob Magliero, I'm the education lead on the Grow with Google team. So I see some familiar faces and names on the call because I manage all of our higher education partnerships across the country. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, and I'll toss it over to Ben.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Rob. Hey, everyone. I'm Ben. I'm on the Growth Google team, supporting our partnerships across employers, colleges, nonprofits. Really excited to be on the call today and share a bit more about the resources that we're offering. And with that, I'll kick it over to Christian.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. My name is Christian, and I am a creative lead for the Google Career Certificates program. I'm really excited to tell you about Career Dreamer, which I served as the marketing lead for.
Thank you. So with that, I'll go ahead, quickly share my screen. And if for some of you that don't know, but probably already everyone does at this point, the National AI Consortium, it's a collaborative initiative led by Miami-Dade College, Houston Community College, and Maricopa Community College. And it's really to help build the AI workforce by supporting those community colleges nationwide, right? So this is specifically targeting community colleges. And NICE aims to bring professional development to community college faculty with industry partners just like this, right? We Grow with Google, where we focus on equipping faculty with like the tools that they'll need and the skills to be able to come back and teach their students real world AI applications. Our work also includes engaging industry leaders to define like what the workforce needs. And that initiative is going through our National AI Business Industry Leadership Team, or what we call the BUILT. And they actually come back, let us know what it is that we should be expecting for these graduates to look like for when they go out into that workforce with an associate's in AI. So then we're also providing mentorship to right now 3 colleges, and it's helping them develop their AI courses, their credentials to really build on their AI associate's degree, and that to make sure that it's aligned with their local industry. So those colleges, they're also building their own local built model to be able to drive that direction for their associate's degree. Then we've created the National AI Community of Practice, where faculty from across the nation are given a platform where they're able to grow and learn from one another. And if you've been involved in those, we've had presenters come. Now we've actually put out a call for action to where we chose the topics that were most voted on for faculty and what their needs are and what they'd like to learn. And we're going to have faculty be the ones to actually present and teach and learn, with one another. So that's exciting. Then the next thing that we have coming on which is our little baby right now. We will be hosting every year a conference. And this year, our conference is actually going to be next week. And that will be April 9th through the 11th. And it's going to be at Houston Community College. So we're very excited for that. And if you haven't already signed up, or if you're interested, you can follow this QR code and it'll lead you to there and get you more information if you need. Then, if my screen wants to work, our contact info. If you don't have our website, I've listed it on here. And if you're not signed up for our newsletter, I strongly recommend you do that to make sure that you hear about the latest things we've got going on, the latest trainings, professional development, things like that. And then you can also follow us on Indeed. On LinkedIn. I don't know why I said that. Sorry. Then our agenda. So today we'll have Rob and Ben talk to us a little bit about the Grow with Google overview and what they've got to offer, what certifications, how you faculty can be able to use them in the classroom. Then we'll have the Career Dreamer demonstration, followed with some firsthand experience from MDC on how we're using it in the classrooms, what have the student experiences been like, and then some questions and answers. So with that, I will stop sharing and hand it on over to Grow with Google.
Great. Thank you, Cynthia. And thanks everyone for being here. I know for a lot of folks, this is spring break and you could literally be anywhere in the world and you're here with us. So we appreciate your time. I'm going to give a quick overview of the Google Career Certificates and our AI training, most importantly and relevant to this group. And then we will get in really quickly to the star of the show, which is our Career Dreamer demo, so that folks can ask any questions and get a good sense of what that is. So for those of you who aren't familiar, Grow with Google is Google's economic opportunity program. And we really think about how we can make the opportunities provided by technology available to everyone. And one of the ways that we do that is partner with community colleges to offer the Google Career Certificates and our AI training, which is breaks down into really two main courses, our AI Essentials course and our Prompting Essentials course. And really, this is focused on, comes from a few insights. First off, you can't really look at the news or open your computer without hearing or thinking about AI these days. But we do have a few focusing insights on what AI could look like in the future for both employers and for students. We do know, if you look on the left-hand side of the screen, that students want to develop AI skills. And I think everyone who's here is here because they have that deep understanding from working with students. And at an institutional level, you're thinking about how to help faculty and students develop AI skills before they enter the workforce or as part of your day-to-day efforts. And we also know that employers are increasingly looking for talent with AI skills. And so 71% of employers in a recent survey actually stated that they'd rather hire a less experienced candidate with AI skills rather than a more experienced candidate without them. And so we know that this is going to be a critical part of the tools that students bring to the workforce. But we also know that there's a gap in preparation for students who graduate from either a community college program or workforce development program with AI skills. And so we really are hoping to close that gap in collaboration with your institutions. And so we have a few offerings. We really broke them down into three different columns here to distinguish between the three different types of trainings that we have. So on the left is probably what most folks are familiar with, which is our foundational Google Career Certificates. And these are programs that can be completed in 3 to 6 months at about 10 hours per week. We really, when we're working with community colleges, see these being completed in about a semester worth of time. And they take folks from zero to job ready in that period of time in the high growth and demand fields that you see on the left-hand side there. So cybersecurity, data analytics, project management, et cetera. They are recommended for ACE up to 15 credits for ACE credit. And then students receive a certificate at the end of that they can put on LinkedIn and share with their employer and signal that they are ready for entry-level roles across those fields. There's currently 1.8 million or more entry-level jobs across the country in those fields. And so we're really working with community colleges across a variety of different models, which I can share in more detail later to offer to students. We also have advanced Google Career Certificates. These do presume some prerequisite knowledge that are, and that's slightly different from the certificates that you see on the left-hand side. So we do expect that students have some previous experience. And this is in advanced data analytics, business intelligence, and IT automation with Python, but the structure is very much the same, bringing folks to job ready and can be completed in about a semester. And then finally is our AI Essentials and Prompting Essentials courses. Now, these are only 5 to 7 hours, so much shorter, and really help folks gain the essential skills that they need to use AI in their day-to-day to increase productivity, decision-making, creativity, and the types of use cases that we're seeing currently in the job market and day-to-day. So just a quick overview of the program. You can see the courses that I just spoke about up top and the certificates I spoke about up top. They're all created by Google content subject matter experts at Google. So folks who are in these roles who do this day to day and really know the ins and the outs of their subject. So they deliver the content via on-demand video. And then students complete quizzes, hands-on projects, and actually every student will leave with a hands-on project that represents a type of work they would do in an entry-level job. We really take an AI first approach. So, of course, we have those two courses that I talked about that are focused squarely on AI, but our certificates now also have AI tasks, which show students how they might use AI in those specific fields. So, how you might clean data in a data analytics position using AI, or debug code as you might do in cybersecurity. They're flexible and on demand, so students can complete at their own pace. Although we often see in a higher ed setting that the community college is providing some support around pacing, whether that's through a existing course or a standalone opportunity that's supported by a faculty member at the institution. As I mentioned, they're rigorous and relevant. So there's those hands-on projects that really give students a sense of what it's like to work in the space. But finally, they're vetted by employers. So we think that connecting across the ecosystem is an essential part to training. We say no one takes training just to be trained. They take training to get a job. And so we work with 150 plus employer partners across the country to not only vet the content that we create, but then also to consider Google Career Certificate graduates for entry level roles. So when someone completes a Google Career Certificate, they are able to access a platform that has posted relevant jobs, as well as a suite of resources to help them prep for interviews, prepare their resume and cover letter, amongst a variety of other resources. And so all of these are available at no cost to community colleges across the country. We will share a link on how you can get access to this content. We've been partnering with Miami-Dade for quite some time around our data analytics certificate, and they'll share a little bit more around AI Essentials and Prompting Essentials at the end of this call, as we showed in the agenda. And we'll send out more information both from this slide deck, but then also how you can take advantage of this at your community college and offer this content to students. So with that, we've actually learned quite a bit. We've had over 1 million graduates over the past 7 or so years since launching the Google Career Certificates. And in working with graduates and understanding their experience in training, we've learned a lot about what a student's or learner's trajectory into their career might look like. And so we developed, with some of those insights, a new tool called Career Dreamer, which is really what we wanted to showcase today. So I'm going to toss it over to Christian, and then we'll take questions at the end, but to do a quick demo and give an overview of our Career Dreamer tool.
Thank you, Rob. So as I'm getting my screen together, just to kind of pick back up on what Rob was saying about really the kind of impetus and insight behind building this tool. Can you see my screen? Yes? Okay, great. So we've learned from graduates of our Google Career Certificates program, from partners like Miami-Dade, that career exploration can be quite challenging. Just the sheer number of career paths out there can be very daunting to kind of narrow down and figure out what you want to pursue. Often people struggle to kind of identify their true passions and aptitudes and understand how those can become a fulfilling career path. And then also, just while credentials like the Google Career Certificates provide a very strong foundation, figuring out how to actually articulate your new skills can be quite challenging as well. And this is actually all an information challenge, and one that AI can be really helpful in helping address. And that's because we can take insights that we only know about ourselves and the vast information that's out there in the world, and use AI to kind of find patterns and connect the dots between those two pieces. And so it's easier to kind of show you how this comes to life than for me to keep talking. So I will walk you through this early stage experiment, Career Dreamer. We just launched it last month, and we're quite excited to see the pickup that it's gotten. This is a completely free tool. It lives like this as a web interface. And so I'll show you how it goes. So one of the things we really wanted to do when we were building this tool is enable someone with zero experience in AI to jump right in and get started. So we first prompt you to enter a current or previous role. For this audience, let's say we're a student. You can then select your level, and you can see here there's a host of options to choose from, including some technical certificates or even the Google Career certificates. Let's say I'm an associate. I have an associate's degree in business. And now what the tool is going to do is start to generate some insights based on the skills that I might have as someone with an associate's degree in business. It was really, really critical for us in building this tool that not only are we thinking about the personalization value of AI, but also grounding that in real empirical data from reputable sources like the Bureau of Labor Statistics and Lightcast. And so the taxonomy and skills taxonomy that you're seeing from there is from that kind of reputable labor corpus. So here, now you're seeing kind of an option of skills that I might have as a result of having an associate's degree in business. We have a hover state over each skill, so you can see kind of a description and why it's being surfaced to you. And then I have the option of selecting what feels most relevant, adding my own, or regenerating for a new set of skills. And I'd say these all look pretty good to me, so we'll keep going. And this is going to take you into really the first chapter of our tool. So this first one we call your career identity. The idea here is to start to build out your personal profile and based on your unique experiences, education, skills, and interests. And so you see those 4 categories here. And then on the right-hand side, we have what's called a career identity statement, which we really think about as the unique value proposition that a student or yourself will bring to the workplace. So we'll kind of round out this profile here and start to add some more details. So let's say I had an associate degree and I also am a retail clerk. You can choose to add the specific organization or you can skip. And now what the tool is going to do is identify a set of tasks that I might perform in this role. I think what's nice about this is, if I'm a student, let's say I put in research assistant, these tasks could be the bullet points on your resume. So you'll go through the same process of kind of reading through and figuring out what feels relevant and then selecting what you like. From there, the tool is going to break those tasks down into a set of transferable skills. Again, what we've heard often from graduates of our program, job seekers that we engage with, a lot of our testers, is just understanding that all of our experiences actually have such valuable transferable skills. And so this tool is really designed to help you kind of uncover those. And similarly, you can see the hover state again. And we try and use descriptions to help you understand why these skills are being surfaced. So I think these all look pretty good. We'll hit next. And now if you notice on the right-hand side, my career identity statement is now being updated to reflect the new inputs that I've added here. And so you can kind of see how that comes together. Now let's round out this profile by adding some interests. So let's say I really enjoy languages. You can literally put anything that you want in this tool. I think the really interesting thing about this particular input is, it doesn't say, I love Spanish and I love French. Instead, it's actually trying to broaden out to the higher level motivation that informs why you enjoy this particular thing. And so in this case, users have the option of selecting up to 2 kind of purpose or motivation statements here. So I'll say, I like connecting with people from different backgrounds, and I want to contribute to a world where people can understand each other better. You'll hit next. And so again, you can see my identity statement is starting to adapt with the new information that I give it. And let's kind of round out this profile because we do love Google Career Certificate. Let's say I took the certificate in data analytics. Next. And so you'll go through the same kind of iterative process again of making sure people are aware of all the skills that they have based on their experience, based on their background. So we'll go ahead and select. And again, you'll see the statements start to update and adapt. And now we really have this kind of beautiful profile built out of this particular user. We've done a ton of testing with this tool before launching, and we've seen people spend, honestly, the most time in this particular chapter of the tool. The more information that you provided, the more details that you share, the more personalized the results start to become. The really interesting thing too about this functionality is I have the option of regenerating my statement if I want to see some different language or iteration used. I can also see every past version of my statement, and it's even time-stamped. And then I can also say, you know what, this looks great. I want to copy this and use it on perhaps my LinkedIn profile or to start a cover letter. Or I often tell people this is a great response to an interview when you're being asked, tell me about yourself. The thing that's really important that we want to emphasize, of course, is that this is a starter draft. So we want users, students to really take this as an initial first step, but then to adjust the language and make it feel authentic to themselves. So after you've kind of rounded out this profile, you can hit Explore Paths, and that's going to take you into the next chapter of this tool. And you might have seen as the tool is generating, it says sourced from labor market data, and as you see here, supplemented with AI results. Again, we wanted to make sure we're really grounding this in reputable sources, but sometimes AI can help identify some tangential or emerging fields, and so that's why we have the both options there. So now you see this kind of beautiful web of career possibilities that are all informed by the data that we gave it in our career identity profile. Another interesting thing to call out here is you can kind of filter and select the types of roles that you want to see based on these filters here. So let's say like, yes, I studied business, but I actually just want to see roles based on my skills and interests. I can choose to unselect any of these features here and see the results that come. And so you can do a little bit of tailoring and iterating with the tool, which is quite nice. Great. So the other really nice thing about this option is we want to help people actually understand what it is that they're looking at. So let's say you hover over a role here. We'll give you a typical degree requirement or years of experience that you can see, and as well as a description of the tool. I should call out this key here indicates what's a database result and what's an AI result. Let me just, so we're working with the most options, go back and select all of our filters. And then I'll show you what it looks like when we can kind of dig in and see more information about a particular role. Okay, so let's say of these options, business intelligence analyst sounds really interesting to me. So I can decide to learn more. And then I'll land on this page where I see a description that is coming from Lightcast. We've also linked every specific role, so I can go and click on this and see the actual source data. We also have average salaries and degree requirements again. And then this part of the tool is really all about personalized insights that AI is quite good at. So what are the ways we can reflect the user back at them? In this section, you see your sweet spots or your existing skills that could make you successful as a business intelligence analyst, and you can kind of toggle through and see the different rationale. We also have a section for a day in the life. So how can I just get a kind of sampling of what a business intelligence analyst does? And finally, in terms of personalized insights, we have areas for growth or skills that you might want to hydrate or develop in order to be successful in this particular field. Similarly, you can kind of toggle through. And obviously, I should call out, this is not a comprehensive list of skills or a day in the life, but we're just trying to get people to better understand and get excited about what's possible for them. And then when relevant, We'll also surface some of Google's upskilling resources that might be helpful in preparing somebody for this particular role. So you'll see both cloud learning services certifications, as well as some of the Google career certificates where applicable. So we actually have a business intelligence certificate in one of the advanced courses that Rob mentioned earlier. The other quite cool thing about this tool is we have this jobs search feature. So I can select here. I can click on that and share this tab, and where relevant, hopefully you all can see this, I can find job postings in my area based on geolocation that are related to the specific role that I'm looking at. So if folks, students are super eager and they're ready to get started, they can see what's in their immediate area, click on it, learn more about the details of the tool. Okay, and in the very final chapter of this tool, we have Jump to Gemini. So this section is all about helping people start to take those first steps towards better understanding and exploring what's out there for them, including potentially starting a resume tailored to the role that they're interested in. So here we have a set of starter prompts that can get someone going with Gemini, particularly if you haven't used it before. So what we start to do is, it's pretty simple. You click on go, we'll have a pre-prepared prompt, and then we'll shoot you over to Gemini. I just go ahead and paste that prompt in. And what's happening is it's actually pulling all the information from your Career Dreamers session. And then you can submit and start to work with Gemini on your cover letter. And I won't go through this whole process for you all, but you can see that we don't just generate the cover letter right away. We start to prompt the user with a few questions to get more details so that you're really working hand in hand with this AI chatbot, as opposed to just generating results for you right away. So it'll ask you for specific details like the role that you're applying for. You can even add the direct link to the role or the official job description, and really start to get deep with Gemini. And I'll just show you one other feature. If we, let's say, we had that web of opportunities and possibilities that we showed before, but maybe you want to see some other roles. We have a prompt for this as well. So I'll go back to Gemini, paste my prompt, and you can actually, it's kind of interesting for all kind of AI nerds here to read what the prompt is that we've provided. But what's nice is it's going to kind of use the insights that you gave it and surface some other roles, and not only just give you the specific job title, but share why we think you might be a good fit, again, based on your profile. And we do all the things from showing you potential skills gaps that you might want to hydrate and things like that. So let me take us back to the tool. And that is Career Dreamer. I think I am passing it to Ben now.